The following high-definition presentation of Beacon Sports is brought to you by Beacon Academy, an elite group of students destined to bring you the future of better broadcasting.
National Pro Fast Pitch Softball action live on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com for the 2015 season is brought to you in part by Boomba, the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch Authentic Team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. By Worth Fast Pitch, the official helmet of the NPF. By DeMarini Sports, makers of the world's finest bats. Check them out on Instagram at DeMariniFP. By Wilson Sporting Goods, official supplier of bats and gloves for the NPF. Create your custom Wilson A2000 at wilsoncustomgloves.com. By Combat Sports, your advantage is in our DNA. Experience Maxim, a 40% larger hitting surface than the closest competitor. By Miken, we are built to win. We don't play the game to win, we dominate it at mikensports.com. By Mizuno, never settle is an attitude, like Mizuno Fast Pitch North America on Facebook for athlete news, product reviews, and giveaways. By Louisville Slugger, you too can swing the technology that's dominating the game at every level of play at slugger.com. By Easton, swing for the fences and patented designs and discover how their fast pitch bat can take your game to the next level at eastonsoftball.com. By Evo Shield, the official protective gear of the NPF. Lightweight gear, custom fit, available for athletes of all ages at sporting good retailers nationwide. By Bonet, play anywhere, play now. Check out the best portable sports nets and gear in the game at bonetsports.com. By Diamond Sports, the official softball of the NPF. Progressive design plus advanced technology equals unparalleled performance. And by Nike, an official supplier of the NPF. Wants you to follow them at Nike Store for Nike products in the U.S. Serving athletes since 1972, Nike knows at NikeStore.com.
Welcome back here to pregame coverage of Chicago Bandits and USSSA Florida Pride NPF softball here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Mike Knezovich along with Eric Katz as we get set for Game 3 of this 4-game set here between the Pride and the Bandits. Two very tough ball games, the first two contests here in this 4-game set. Both 3-2 victories for the USSSA Florida Pride. And Eric, both of those ball games coming right down to the wire. The first game going to extra innings with the international tiebreaker, and then the Pride pulling out the game last night late.
Last night was another thriller, Mike, of this series. We're having a couple classics between the USSSA Pride and the Chicago Bandits, but the Bandits are doing a bad job of trying to hit with runners in scoring position. You can't do that against a team like the USSSA Pride. You may have been able to get away with that against teams like the Akron Racers or the Rebellion, but the Pride are just too good to leave runners on base.
Kat Osterman again, just stellar in the circle last night with a 10 strikeout performance. Now this particular season she has 68 strikeouts and only 7 walks. They say this is supposed to be her swan song this season, but she just keeps getting better with age.
I mean, with her experience, I mean, she's been in the league for a while, so she pretty much knows a lot of these hitters, old and new. I thought early in the year that her age was beginning to show, but not so much, as her control is still on point.
No doubt about that, and there's a couple ex-Bandits that are now members of the Pride. One of those players is Megan Wiggins, the fine center fielder, now for the USSSA Pride. She is having a tremendous series, 6 of 9 so far in the first 2 ball games, including a couple game-winning hits.
She has been huge for the Pride. I mean, just as she was for the Bandits. She's just been an annoyance to the Bandits pitching. I mean, she had that chopper in the first game that ultimately brought home the winning run. She also had that hit last night which brought in the game-winning run again. I mean, the Bandits have to find a way to neutralize her because she's swinging a hot bat.
Meanwhile, double deuce Brittany Cervantes continues her terrific play, not only at first base defensively, but at the plate. Slugging percentage, on-base percentage, and batting average for the former Kentucky Wildcat is just off the charts.
I mean, she had that big home run last night to tie up the game, and she's just continuing to swing a hot bat. She's picking up right where she left off last year, except she's adding a little bonus to the story by hitting for average and also finding a way to get on base, not just getting hits and swinging for power.
Let's take a look as we get the wrap up right now, Eric, of our pitching matchup tonight. It certainly is going to be a dandy. Monica Abbott is going to be going for the Chicago Bandits, the ace of the staff who actually took the loss in the series opener out of the bullpen, and Kalani Ricketts, who came out of the bullpen in that ball game to shut down the Bandits and keep the pride in the ball game, will be going for the red, white, and blue.
We got ourselves another real treat tonight. It's always fun to see Monica Abbott on the mound, and Kalani Ricketts, I was a little surprised with the decision to start her because she pitched stellar and she pitched those 4 innings extremely well, and normally that can be a wear and tear on the arm. But nevertheless, Coach Davenport says he knows what he's doing with Kalani Ricketts.
Well, it's an uncharacteristically cool evening out here tonight at the ballpark here on July the 1st. We'll see if the bats heat up for the Chicago Bandits tonight. They're going to try to retain first place. They only have a half a game lead against the second place Pride coming into tonight's ball game. We'll find out about all these storylines and much more after this brief timeout as pregame coverage continues here as the Chicago Bandits host the USSSA Florida Pride live here from the ballpark at Rosemont on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Here this 4-game set. Again, thanks very much for everybody in the Beacon Academy crew joining us out here tonight. Bilal Mohammed, Ron Capuzzo, again producing and directing respectively. And Monica Abbott gets set to toil in the circle tonight. Let's take a look at the Boomba starting lineup for the USSSA Pride. They will lead it off with Natasha Watley. She'll be in left field tonight. Kelly Kretschmann will be in right with Megan Wiggins in center. So the outfield represented well in the first 3 slots of the order. The middle of the order will feature Andrea Duran at third as she gets back at the hot corner after taking last night off. Gianna DiSalvatore at first. Madison Shipman will be at shortstop in the 6 hole. As there you see the ace of the Bandit staff delivering pitch number 2. It's fouled away. Chelsea Goodacre will be behind the plate tonight for the Pride. Designated player will be Lauren Chamberlain with Courtney Seal rounding out the lineup at second base. And Boomba is the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch authentic team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. Abbott with that new crouch on her delivery on the pitch. And that was a 70-mile-an-hour waist pitch up high and outside.
She's pitching to her teammate from Team Toyota in the Japanese League, Natasha Watley.
The former Bruin checks her swing nicely on that one on a 71-mile-an-hour heater. Watley last night was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored on a pair of walks, and she was 1 for 2 in stolen bases in the ball game. Outfield playing medium depth straight away. Bounced over the head. It's going to be a tough play for Tammy, and she can't make it. And Watley picks up her second hit in 3 at-bats, again with that terrific chop shot over the middle.
Those chop shots have been really getting the Bandits in this series, and now Natasha Watley's on first base, and in the last 2 games, whenever Natasha Watley is on base, she has made things happen.
So let's see if they test the arm of Taylor Edwards right off the get-go, as Kelly Kretschmann now will stand in. The former Crimson Tide from Alabama checks in with an average of .412 on the season. 4 home runs, 10 runs driven in. Abbott was the loser in relief in the opener in the series on Monday as she pitched an inning and 2/3, giving up a hit. That was the infield single, which brought home the winning run in the international tiebreaker as that pitch is slashed out of play.
I was talking to Coach Davenport before the game, and he's not worried about Kelly Kretschmann at all in the mini slump that she's in. He thinks that Kretschmann is 1-2 at-bats away from being a huge game changer for the Pride.
She's had a little bit difficulties in laying down bunts in this series as well, popping one up to the pitcher Sarah Moulton earlier. But good speed aboard, but now Abbott's ahead of her. No balls and 2 strikes. Little chop shot goes to Patton. Sidearm throw is dug out of there nicely by Cervantes. And meanwhile, Kretschmann gets the job done by moving Watley up 60 feet.
Well, Kelly Kreshman was able to get that bunt down, and a huge job by Megan Blank to dig up the ball and still keep her momentum on first base.
So Megan Wiggins, who's just had a terrific series so far, is there you get a good look at the crowd settling in tonight. Sam Vietbrock welcoming everybody with some 50-50 options as that ball is swung on and missed on a 69-mile-an-hour rise ball for strike one. Wiggy so far in the series is having a dandy 6 for 9 with a run scored and 3 runs driven in, and 2 of those 3 RBIs have been game winners in this series. The wind is galing again over the center field wall, so it certainly is a pitcher's night tonight at the ballpark. Our Orange Crush LLC umpiring crew tonight has Pete Blair calling the balls and strikes behind the plate. Diane Carden is down at first, and Bob Sells over at third.
I think Monica Abbott is pitching around on Megan Wiggins because I think that the game-winning run hit from the other night is still on her mind.
2-1 count now to the former Bulldog from Georgia. And that one stays upstairs as well with Andrea Duran on deck. And now Edwards and Abbott are going to talk about a potential switch of signs with the runner on second base. Keep in mind that you can drop us a note at streaming@chicagobandits.com. That's streaming@chicagobandits.com. Had all kinds of folks last night checking in from YouTube and also emailing us from all over the world, actually. Had emails from England as well as France and all across the U.S. Wiggins has got the hitter's count right now. That one does catch the corner. Now we'll have our first 3and2sports.com payoff of the evening.
3and2sports.com.
Monica Abbott needs an out here, especially with the speed of Natasha Watley.
Here is the payoff now to Wiggy. And a good job of fighting that one off as that ball rose right in on the fist of Wiggins.
Monica Abbott did a great job of selecting the location and throwing it right in on the hands of Megan Wiggins, and all Wiggins could really do with that one is fight it off.
This is kind of an interesting matchup here. One of the top hitters in the NPF against the ace of the Bandit staff, former teammates with the black and orange last season as well as several seasons, as that ball is fouled towards the Bandit dugout and goes into the Bandit bullpen, and the count remains full. Andrew Futrell, Andy Voss, Roland Walker, Caprice Shepard, and Rick Lehman have all subscribed. As there you get a good look at Mike Davenport, the head man for the USSSA Pride. He's assisted by Travis Wilson and Todd Downs. Wiggins continuing to stay alive out there. Let's set the Wilson Sporting Goods defensive alignment for the Chicago Bandits. They'll have Brenna Moss in left with Emily Allard in center. A.J. Andrews gets the nod tonight in right. Infield from third to first, Patton, Williams, Zimkowitz, and Megan Blank tonight. Brittany Cervantes is designated player for the Bandits tonight. The battery with Taylor Edwards and Monica Abbott. Dale Leslie checking in again from across the pond in Manchester, England. Kudos goes out to the production crew as well. We'll give thanks to them here in a second. Here's yet another payoff to Wiggy, and it stays down low, so a big battle there won by the former Bandit.
Great at bat by Megan Wiggins. She was able to stay alive by fighting off the pitches that Monica Abbott threw in on her hand, and she was able to work a walk.
So Andrea Duran, who had the collar in the first game of this series, 0 for 4, including a strikeout looking, but played a very solid defensive third base now, will come to the plate. Force at any base now for the Bandit defense.
I mean, this is where the Bandits ran into trouble yesterday by walking batters and also allowing singles that don't even get out of the infield.
Yeah, Lacey Waldrop talked about the leadoff walks in the ball game, as that one stays a little bit outside. And again, Monica wants to talk things over with Taylor Edwards. We've got all kinds of groups again in attendance. Our good friends from the Downers Grove Dowels and Rebels. Terrence Ward is going to join us here come the top of the third inning to talk a little bit about youth softball in the Chicagoland area. Also, the BRW Blast are with us here this evening, along with the Arlington Heights Patriots. The 2-0 offering now to Duran is grounded sharply to T. Will. She'll go to third base, the shortest distance there, and she will get the force. Meanwhile, Duran will reach first on the fielder's choice as the putout goes 6-5.
Great selection by Tammy Williams, and as you're going to see here in the replay, if the ball grounded all the way to the left that Tammy Williams had to bend over and get, and she throws it over to Amber Patton for the out. That was a great selection instead of whipping it all the way to first base across the diamond.
Also a good heads-up play there by Amber Patton to stay to the left field side of the bag and give T. Will a nice throwing lane there. So Gianna DeSalvatore now, the former Bruin from UCLA, we're standing. She's also had an excellent series. 3 for 8 with a run scored and an RBI. That coming on a solo home run over the right field foul pole on Monday night. Aaron Moore's parents watching tonight from Grand Lake, Oklahoma, saying go Bandits. Monica into the rock. And again, she's trying to keep that ball right in underneath the hands of the first baseman for the Pride.
In this game, Mike, Monica Abbott is sporting the custom ringer shoes with the Bandits logo on them, including the colors. I thought those were a pretty cool selection of shoes.
3-run record with a 1.24 earned run average for the former Volunteer from Tennessee. 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning of play, but the Pride are threatening with runners on first and second. There's a little spinner out to T-Will, and Tammy will put it away for out number 3. So a nice job by Monica Abbott to pitch out of trouble. The Pride threatened but failed to score, and they're after the first inning with no runs. They get 1 base hit. There were no Bandit errors, and 2 more Pride runners left on base. They've been very close to double digits in left on base throughout the first 2 games of this series. We'll head to the bottom half of the first inning of play. Our first inning tonight is brought to us by Transnational. Transnational is the most trusted name in bank card and sponsor the 2015 Scholar Athlete of the Year. The USSSA Pride have failed to score. The Chicago Bandits are coming to bat here in the bottom half of the first inning at the beautiful ballpark at Rosemont on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Out as well on ChicagoBandits.com. You can go to the video link of the game of your choice. Just click on the date and you'll be able to watch all the action right here on ChicagoBandits.com and YouTube. We head to the bottom half of the first inning of play. The Bandits will send the top of the order up against the left-handed slants of the former Sooner from Oklahoma, Kalani Ricketts. It'll be Emily Allard, Amber Patton, and Tammy Williams to face the softball. Ricketts did a terrific job in relief. She picked up the win in that ball game, as there you see the numbers on the former Wildcat from Northwestern. Came in for Chelsea Thomas, and she ended up picking up our Boomba player of the ball game. in that contest. 4 1/3 innings of shutout work, giving up 4 hits and striking out 5.
This is a situation where Emily Allard needs to set the tone for the Bandits as she's in the leadoff spot now.
She shortens up as if to bunt and takes that one for the first strike. The Akron Racers are again in action tonight at the Dallas Charge. That ball game is yet to begin. Allard that time again trying to chop down on that ball and get the ball airborne and can't get it done. Emily so far 2 for 7 in the series. She got both of those hits on Monday night, an infield single and a slap base hit to the left side. Here's the 2-2 offering. And swung on and missed by Allard, so again the drop ball baffles the former Wildcat.
Great job by Kalani Ricketts. She's setting the tone early for the Pride defense.
Yeah, your margin for error on that slap hit is very small because you're trying not to pop that ball up. You're trying to swing down on it, and with the ball also moving down, that's a difficult situation for a leadoff hitter.
I was talking to Emily Allard the night of the Bandit season ticket holder party, and she told me it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination to actually be a slap hitter.
I wouldn't doubt that one bit. Patton takes that one for a strike. Kalani, a resident of San Jose, California, as there you see Amber off to a terrific start this season with the batting average well up close to the 400 mark. Trying to frame that one was the catcher Goodacre, and the count goes to 2-0. Two-time USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year back in 2012 and in 2013. In that 2013 season, leading the Sooners to the championship, and was also the most outstanding player in the series.
In that 2013 series, Michelle Gascoigne pinched the clinching game of that game against the Tennessee Volunteers.
And a 3-1 pitch is right there, so we'll have another 3&2sports.com payoff to the former Blue Demon from DePaul, Amber Patton, who so far in the series is 1 for 7 with a run scored and an RBI. And the payoff is swung on and missed, so Ricketts certainly has great movement on that drop ball right now to the first 2 hitters.
She's had back-to-back strikeouts. This is the tone that the USSSA want to have. They want to control the momentum. They want to control the tempo of this game.
So Tammy Williams now will stand in. She's still looking for her first hit of the series in 5 at-bats. She picked up a couple walks in the ball game on Monday and also had another base on balls last night. In addition to that, a quote-unquote hit by pitch when she kicked at the ball as she was going towards the pitcher. They ended up calling that a ball and waving out the walk to first base as that one's fouled off the screen, and Ricketts is quickly ahead of her.
After my story of the 2013 College World Series, Kalani Ricketts pitched the first game and got the win. And then Patty Gasso had an interesting decision to make. She was thinking about going with Michelle Gascoigne, but wanted to go with Kalani Ricketts and talk to her about it. And Kalani said, "You have to start Michelle."
We got a visitor on the field right now.
a little rabbit. Little rabbit running into the outfield. Where'd that thing come from?
Tell you what, certainly enough speed to get around the bases in a hurry. Now it's going to take a little tour around the warning track.
Now it's just going to sit there. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Have some sort of wildlife somehow make its way onto the field. Now it's running away.
I think they're going to try to give it a little escape route here.
I think they're
star of the show so far is Roman 4 now is going to try to help out a little bit.
Yep, Roman 4, a native of Minnesota, certainly knows all about those. And Rabbit finally left.
Exit stage right. Yeah, we were playing a little baseball. My son plays in the Park District over at Downers, and we had a visitor from the nearby forest. A deer came by, galloping right by in the outfield.
That was probably a surprising event, probably more surprising than when we saw the bunny rabbit out there.
Beautiful, beautiful sight. So Tammy's in the hole now, no balls and 2 strikes. Does a good job of laying off that high, hard 65-mile-an-hour heater. The Wilson Sporting Goods defensive alignment for the red, white, and blue has Natasha Wadley in left, Megan Wiggins in center, and Kelly Kretschmann in right, with Duran, Shipman, Seal, and DeSalvatore across the infield. And that ball's hit to the aforementioned Duran. Her laser beam throw across to DeSalvatore, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Kalani Ricketts and the USSSA Pride. So in the inning for the Bandits, no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on base. Our first inning is brought to us in part by Willowbrook Ford, located on Kingery Highway in Willowbrook. There you see the former Bruin from UCLA, Andrea Duran, with the bullseye throw right across the diamond to her fellow Bruin, Gianna DeSalvatore. Willowbrook Ford is located on Kingery Highway in Willowbrook, just 1 mile north of I-55. Drive what the pros drive at Willowbrook Ford. One inning in the books here at the ballpark at Rosemont. It's time for Athletico tug-of-war here at the ballpark at Rosemont in a scoreless tie on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Coming up here for the USSSA Pride in a scoreless tie will be Madison Shipman, the Rookie of the Year in the NPF last year, followed by Chelsea Goodacre and Lauren Chamberlain to face the left-handed slants of Monica Abbott. Our tug-of-war was brought to us by Athletico with over 330 locations. They have complimentary screenings and they're on the web at athletico.com. Shipman still struggling in the early going in her offense, but certainly, Eric, she has not taken that particular difficulty to the defensive side of things.
She's done a great job of shutting down Amber Patton and Emily Allard on their slap hitting technique, which has been successful in the previous series against the Charge at home.
Madison 2 for 7 so far in the series. She had a single in the 7th on Monday and a base hit in the ball game last night as well. Open stance from the right-hand side. She's in the hole now, and she swings and misses for the first Abbott strikeout. Our strikeouts for this evening brought to us by Cole Construction. Cole built, quality, on time, every time at Cole Construction.
Great strikeout by Monica Abbott. She's trying to tilt the momentum in the Bandits' direction.
Alex Booker and Tatum Edwards yell their approval on that particular result. Chelsea Goodacre now will come to the dish. The former Arizona Wildcat coming in at 304 with a couple of RBIs. 1 for 5 in the series so far. Abbott still trying to get that form down where she can get into a rhythm here and pick up 3 or 4 strikeouts in a row.
We saw what happens when she gets in a rhythm, Mike, when she started against the Charge.
And she's starting right now to get things heated up a little bit right around that 70-mile-an-hour target and getting that ball to cut right across the black of the outside corner. Rebecca Pasteris is manning the camera down at third base tonight with Allison Ward over at first, and there's a wave and a swing and a miss. So 2 up and 2 down, both via the strikeout for Monica Abbott from the Chicago Bandits. And for Monica on the season right now, she has picked up strikeouts 39 and 40 against only 9 bases on balls coming in, and now 10 after the walk to Wiggins in the first. So the former Sooner from Oklahoma, now Lauren Chamberlain, will come to the plate. She's shown some pretty good pop in the bat during this series, driving Andrews all the way back to the track in the ball game earlier. 2 for 7 in the series with an infield single and also a walk and 2 strikeouts on Monday. and she was 1 for 3 in the game last night. We'll keep an eye on that game between the Charge and the Racers. Akron continuing to knock at the door as well, playing some very good softball these days. Taylor Schloppe's kind of cooled off a little bit, but still doing a terrific job offensively for Akron. '91 career home runs at Norman for Lauren Chamberlain. And that one paints the outside corner. Now you've got Deuces Wild on the scoreboard with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And Monica's starting to heat up the speed gun now at 72 on that last fastball.
Lauren Chamberlain also has an ESPY nomination for her record-breaking performance.
And Monica Abbott has just struck out the side. All 3 swinging for the Pride here, and they're after the second inning of play. So goose eggs go up all across the board for the Pride. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left. Our second inning is brought to us in part by Des Plaines Golf Center and the Lakeport Cars and Marina. You can check them out on the Des Plaines Park District website for family outdoor fun at the Des Plaines Golf Center and Lake Park Course and Marina. We'll head to the bottom half of the second inning in a pitcher's duel right now as Ricketts and Abbott are mowing them down here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Mike Konezovich, Eric Katz back with you here as we move to the bottom half of the second inning of play. Brought to us by Rosemont Health and Fitness. Rosemont Health and Fitness is a multi-purpose health club near Higgins and Manheim. You can check them out on the web at rosemontfitness.com. Middle third of the order now for the black and orange. It'll be double deuce Brittany Cervantes, and there you see the monster numbers put up by Brittany so far in the early part of the season. Certainly looking at a potential MVP candidacy here in the NPF, followed by Danielle Zimkowitz and Taylor Edwards. And that one almost caught her. And it actually deflected off the glove of Goodacre.
Brittany Cervantes also had the only hit of the night last night, which was actually that game-tying 2-run home run, which tied the Bandits up with the Pride for the moment.
She has had a monster series, 4 for 7 with a couple runs scored and 2 runs driven in on that opposite field home run to right center field last night. Got the Bandits right back even with the Pride in the game before the Megan Wiggins infield single was able to put the Pride over the top and get the victory. Brittany's a designated player tonight with Megan Blank over at first base, and we'll see how she adjusts to that situation. Danielle Zimkowitz on deck for the Bandits.
Megan Blank has been playing quite a bit of first base for the Bandits this season.
And played it well, too. The 3-1 offering now is taken inside, so again, Cervantes continuing with that on-base percentage as she came in with a .537 clip for the Bandits to lead the team in that category. And she is right now setting, as far as the league is concerned, right up there amongst the leaders as well in that particular category. So a good start here for Chicago, as now Z will come to the plate. .291 on the season for the former Fighting Illini with 8 runs driven in. The edge of the Pride infield is expecting a bunt as that one catches the outside corner. We'll talk to Terry Ward the next half inning, not only about the Downers Grove Dolls and Rebels, but also about the group plan and the fundraiser that they have out here tonight, and how you can get your group involved in that particular situation. Ricketts doing a great job here tonight, Eric, getting ahead of the hitters consistently.
She is. She's putting the ball in there, and she's getting ahead of them, and that's led to good results so far. With Cervantes, she fell behind, and now Cervantes is on first base.
Good job by Z to stay alive as that one's chopped past the head coach and third base coach tonight for the Bandits, Mike Sturwald. Roman Ford down at first. Again, that wind continuing to gale in as the fans bundle up out here tonight. 210 down each line here at the ballpark at Rosemont. 220 to straightaway center field. And that wind coming in a good clip at about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Wiggins playing shallow over there for Z. 0-2 pitch is grounded down to DeSalvatore. And let's see, they do call it foul, as that ball was just to the right of the line when Gianna fielded it.
If that ball would have stayed fair, it would have been a nice sacrifice and a nice situational hit for Danielle Zimkowitz. But there was the game of inches, Mike, and that one caught the right side.
Taylor Edwards trying to get untracked offensively on deck. As a good job by the home plate umpire, Pete Blair, to be right on that one as it hit to the right side of the foul line. Here's another 0-2 pitch to Z, and she does a good job of taking that one. Cervantes with average speed over at first base, but a very smart base runner. DeSalvatore now playing in front of her, and Duran about 2 steps in front of the third base bag at the hot corner. Bandits have their first base runner here in a scoreless tie. Trying to maintain a first place lead. They've now fallen 2 games behind the Pride in the loss column. The Bandits now have played just 2 extra games than the Pride after a little bit of a light schedule for the red, white, and blue in the early part of the season. And the 1-2 offering back to Ricketts. She will go to second and get the force on a nice job by Seo, as Courtney goes across the bag and gets the force. 1-4.
Great play by Courtney Seo. She was able to get the force and get the lead runner up. But Danielle Zimkowitz reaches on a fielder's choice. You're going to see here on the pitch by Kalani Ricketts. It's a pretty good fastball right in on the hands of Zimkowitz. Hits it right to Kalani Ricketts, and Ricketts is fortunate that Courtney Seo was able to control that one, because that was thrown almost in the opposite direction.
Good job by Seo to avoid the contact with Cervantes coming down the bag hard. And with the runner going, the pitch is fouled away for strike 1.
I think Mike Sturwald's being aggressive early by trying to set the tempo and get Danielle Zimkowitz on the run and test the arm of Chelsea Goodacre.
Taylor Edwards has had a fine series defensively, throwing out 3 runners, but she's still hitless in 8 at-bats in the series, and has also left 5 runners on base, so she'd like to get untracked right here. And the 0-1 offering is a little bit outside. Edwards has seen the average falling out at 271 on the year with those 2 home runs. And good speed aboard now with Zimkowitz at first base. There she goes. It's bunted by Edwards, and the Pride do a good job of letting that ball spin foul. Good play there defensively by the Pride, because Zimkowitz was all the way around to third base by the time they picked up the ball.
They got lucky on that one, but they were fortunate the ball spun into foul territory.
It's one thing the Bandits have going for them this season is speed. You obviously can't steal first base. You got to be able to get on. But when the Bandits have been able to get base runners going, they've caused havoc.
I think that's what they're trying to do with sending Danielle Zimkowitz, who I have a feeling is going to take off here on a 1-2 count.
Brenna Moss is on deck, the former Bulldog from Fresno State. Edwards is able to fight that one off as it sails into the Bandit bullpen, and the count remains at 1-2.
I think what the Bandits are doing each inning with their pitchers is they're trying to keep them loose in the bullpen, especially in this cold weather.
You're kind of surprised to see Monica Abbott get the start tonight after pitching in relief earlier in the series. Thought maybe Gascoigne would get the nod. And a nice stop there by Chelsea Goodacre to keep Zimkowitz over at first base.
I talked to Coach Roman before the game, and his comment on the game yesterday was there's a reason why she's the best in reference to Kat Osterman. He's also looking for the Bandits batters to get quality at bats.
Edwards with a long fly ball. Watley goes back to the track as it hits the base of the wall. Zimkowitz is going to be waved in by Coach Stewart, and she will score standing up on an RBI double off the bat of Taylor Edwards as she gets off the schneid in this series as she picks up RBI number 6 on the season and a 1-0 Bandit leader.
That was a terrific hit. It was right over the head of the speeding Natasha Watley as it hit right off the wall. This is what the Bandits need to do. They need to set the tempo of the game and rough up Kalani Ricketts. And so far tonight it's been working as Taylor Edwards snaps out of the 0-for-8 slump.
Good job by Mike Stewart to be aggressive on the bases, and an equally excellent job by Danielle Zimkowitz cutting the corner of the third base bag on the infield side and able to score standing up. So the Bandits break out on top on this one, and now Brenna Moss. There goes the runner towards third base, and she's going to get there, but then she overruns the bag, and Edwards gets tagged out by Shipman as the shortstop cut behind Duran. A very heads-up play there by Taylor, but unfortunately her momentum took her off the base.
You're going to see her on the replay. I was a little bit surprised that someone like Taylor Edwards would take off running. It was a strike right down the middle, but Taylor Edwards unfortunately slid right past the bag, but great heads-up play by Madison Shipman to stay with the play and
so
get the out.
A 2-6 on the put-out there, and Edwards with the element of surprise there, trying to cut in behind Duran on the steal and almost pulled it off. That ball almost ended up in left field, and another run would have come across the plate for the Bandits.
You got to keep in mind, Mike, that this turf is much more slippery than regular grass. They have to really get acclimated to that in order to slide properly, because the turf is extra slippery, dry or wet.
So 1-2 now with 2 outs to Brenna Moss. She's able to make contact and foul it off. Brenna's had some difficulties making contact in this series with a couple strikeouts on Monday and 2 more last night, as she's 0-for-5 in the series.
Yesterday she got introduced to the great Kat Osterman, and I think she's trying to figure it out here, because during batting practice she was sending him out to center field.
And now we'll have Deuces Wild with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom half of inning number 2. A 1-0 Bandit leader on an RBI double off the bat of the former Cornhusker from Nebraska, Taylor Edwards, as Kalani Ricketts peers in to get her sign from Chelsea Goodacre. And a swing and a miss by Moss to retire the side. But the Bandits do dent the score sheet for the first time here this evening. They pick up 1 run. They do so on 1 base hit, the RBI double off the bat of Taylor Edwards. There were no Pride errors and nobody left on base. We will head to inning number 3 in this ball game, and that is brought to us by Oral Health Care Professionals in Dr. Jackson. Unmatched comprehensive family dentistry in the western suburbs with Dr. Jackson and Oral Health Care Professionals. It's a 1-0 Bandit leader over the USSSA Florida Pride here on NPF Action on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Welcome back here to the ballpark at Rosemont as we head to the top half of the 3rd inning of play, and a 1-0 Bandit leader in this one. The USSSA Pride will have Courtney Seal at the bottom of the order, then back to the top with Natasha Wadley and Kelly Kretschmann, and that certainly was a very important run for Chicago to get here and get on top, Eric.
What we found out against the Dallas Charge when Monica Abbott made her first start is you have to give Monica Abbott runs because that just boosts her confidence.
So Courtney Seal, the former Oregon Duck, will stand in. And she takes the first pitch right on the outside corner for strike one. Seal pinch hit for Andrea Duran on Monday and walked as she comes in with that .273 batting average. And she did not play in the game last night. Both teams with one hit in the ball game so far. As Monica peers in and gets her sign, and it's bunted right back to her, and Monica throws it high, but a good job by Zimkowitz to keep her foot on the base for out number one as that putout goes 1-4.
Terrific play by Daniel Zimkowitz in order to keep balance on that bag, because that was a high throw, and that could have been a trouble, especially with Courtney Seal.
Yeah, she may end up on third on an overthrow like that.
You're going to see here by the replay, Seal puts down a surprise bunt, and it's right to Monica Abbott, who got it away in a hurry, and just in the outstretched arms of Daniel Zimkowitz, she was able to put it out.
Jim Wasson from Fargo, North Dakota, is hoping for a Bandits winner tonight. Natasha Watley 1 for 1 in the ball game so far, and now they're going to have a little conference here to make sure they're all on the same page with a potential drag bunt here off the bat of the former Bruin from UCLA.
Starting to notice that the USSSA Pride have the formula of a mixture of power also with a lot of speed.
0-1 offering a slap past Patton and foul. Fielded out there by Mike Davenport, and he'll get it right back into play.
I talked to Coach Davenport also about the weather. He said this is just perfect. It's a nice change of pace from the humidity that they played in Florida and also in Dallas.
Yeah, they really have some steamers down there in the Sunshine State. The 0-2 pitch is fought off by Watley. Marielle Holland and Jerry Berquist checking in with us this evening. Enjoying watching another game with our crew, the Beacon Academy crew tonight. And great job by Rebecca Pasteris down at third base. Allison Ward over at first. Brendan Culleton also doing a great job during our pregame and in-game stories as that ball's a little bit outside. We've got another subscriber checking in on YouTube, and it's James Barry checking in with us watching the action as Monica Abbott now trying to put away a tough cookie in Watley. And a nice change of speeds that time by Monica for her fourth strikeout of this evening's ball game.
Great strikeout by Monica Abbott. She does a great job at putting a little surprise on that one, at pulling the strings on that. The Pride have grown really accustomed to her throwing the heat tonight so far, but she really surprised them there with pulling the strings.
Yeah, when you're going up against a 72-mile-an-hour fastball, and then she comes back with about a 54-mile-an-hour let-up, just doesn't seem to be fair. So Kretschmann grounded out to Patton, was able to advance the runner, Watley, up to second base in the first inning where she was stranded. Eventually she was forced out on a throw from Williams over to Patton, and that one hit K squared in the wrist. So she will get first base the hard way here, and that will bring Megan Wiggins to the dish.
That one was 70 miles an hour, and 70 miles an hour on the bare skin of the wrist. That one's gotta hurt.
You see she's got those hands apart on the bat there, and that one comes in high and hits her on the low hand.
70 miles an hour too on the bare skin.
So Kelly on first base now with 2 outs. As there you see a couple happy fans in section 202. Not a bad seat here at the ballpark at Rosemont. And all kinds of ticket plans for families as well as groups out here. We've talked about it already, as now Edwards and Abbott are going to talk it over. The vouchers that the groups are able to put together for fundraisers start at just $4 a piece. $5 for the lower box, and an opportunity to sell those particular vouchers. And able to then raise funds for your organization. So Megan Wiggins, who walked her first time up, will now come to the plate. Megan now has reached base 7 times in the first 3 games of this series. Kretschmann with average speed at first, although she's turned that into above average stolen base prowess, as she's now 6 for 6 in stolen bases so far this season. She's still trying to get that tingling out of the left hand. Wiggins is in the hole now. And a good waist pitch there by Monica, maybe about a ½ inch off the black.
Monica certainly has had her problems with Megan Wiggins in this series.
Trying to put her away here for the first time. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here for the Pride. Ball is slapped down to Zimkowicz, who's going to go to second base to cover, and a good job of getting it over to Blank on the play. So good presence of mind there by Z as she had to break towards the bag as Kretschmann was going, and the putout goes 4-3, and the Bandits finally retire Megan Wiggins. As there you see Z breaking towards the bag as the ball went past Abbott. Good job of keeping her concentration and getting over quickly. And Megan Blank with a nice stretch to get the out there at first base. So the Pride for the 3rd consecutive inning failed to score. They do not pick up a base hit as Kretschmann was hit by a pitch. There were no Bandit errors and 1 runner left on base. The Pride have left on 3 through 3. We'll head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning of play, which is brought to you in part by Kings Lanes, located right across the street at beautiful MB Financial Park in Rosemont. It's cowbell time here at the ballpark at Rosemont, and another dandy, 1-0 Bandits over the Pride on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Will come up here in their half of the 3rd inning of play with Megan Blank, A.J. Andrews, and Emily Allard to face the left-handed slants of Kalani Ricketts. Terrence Ward is here with us. He's going to visit us with us here and talk a little bit about youth softball here during the broadcast here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning of play. And Terry, welcome on board. And
thank you.
You got a nice group on hand here. Tell us a little bit about the Downers Grove Dolls and the Rebels.
Excellent. We've got about 150 girls here today, and in the program we've got about 500 girls that play in our in-house Downers Grove Dolls, and about another 150 who plays in our travel organization. That's the Downers Grove Rebels.
Yeah, I talked to some of the youth before the game, actually took them down in the dugout, and they talked about starting off as young as kindergarten, and give us an idea about the older, the limit as far as the age on the top part.
So in our in-house group we go up to the 8th grade level, and our travel level actually goes to 18U, so we have an elite program at the 18U level. But we are most proud about our kindergarten and 1st to 2nd grade. We have about 60 girls, almost 102 girls, now that I think about it, in that level.
Well, that's certainly the future of the organization,
Absolutely.
Starting them off at that level. And touch base a little bit about what you emphasize in those youth levels for the kids as far as the fundamentals and getting them acclimated to how to play the game properly.
Yeah, at that level it's all about catching and throwing. And so we really teach a lot of techniques about catching and throwing, and we really ask the moms and the dads to get out there every day for 10 minutes, 15 minutes just to play catch with the girls. That's really what it's about.
Good start for the Bandits as Megan Blankets hit by the pitch. So again, the leadoff hitter for the second consecutive inning is on base for the Bandits. A.J. Andrews, the former Tiger from LSU, now is going to come up. A.J. so far in the series is 1 for 3 with a base hit on Monday. She did not play in the ball game last night. We're visiting with Terry Ward. He's from the Downers Grove Dows and Rebels, one of the organizations that comes out here to the ballpark at Rosemont and takes advantage of the fundraising opportunities that we offer here for the Bandits. As that pitch is slap foul off the screen, and now Andrews is in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. And Terry, talk about the travel arm of the Rebels and where you go. Is it mainly a local, regional area, or do you kind of get out of state a little bit?
So we have a group that plays in what we call the Southwest Conference, and that is the bulk of our travel group. And then we have a few tournament teams and elite teams.
As Ricketts throws her out, good job by Andrews to advance the runner. Go ahead, Terry.
That will travel all over. And so we've got people going as far as Colorado, Florida. We've got a team traveling out to California this year. So they get all over the country.
Nice job by Ricketts here to corral that ball at the bottom of the circle. And a good job there by DeSalvatore to stay at the bag and make the put out. Meanwhile, Andrews does her job and gets the runner up 60 feet towards second base. Back to the top of the order now with Emily Allard, who is 0 for 1 right now. She is one of the 2 strikeout victims for Ricketts in the ball game today. And talking with the kids before the ball game, you guys are kind of nomads when it comes to where you play in Downers, as you guys kind of move around a little bit.
Yeah, we do. We with that big of a program, we take space wherever we could get it, and we found it in some strange places, but we'll take it.
Absolutely. I saw some of the kids playing over at Henry Puffer, over at the grade school earlier, and like you say, just anywhere you can get the kids together and get the organization and keep it going. That's a terrific situation. How long has the organization been in existence?
We've been around for, I think we're about to celebrate our 45th year.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Our 45th year, yeah, so
That's
we've been a long time.
Yeah. As Allard now will foul that one off as she strikes out for the second time here this evening. Give us your impressions here of the facility here at the ballpark at Rosemont.
Wow, what a neat place. I've seen this place a million times coming home from work from O'Hare, and to be in here is just wonderful. What a stadium. The girls are having a lot of fun. They were in the tug of war earlier today, and just what a beautiful stadium.
Duran gets it on one hop. The laser beam throw across to DeSalvatore will retire Amber Patton and the Bandits here in the bottom half of the third inning in the play. So no runs for the Bandits in this inning on no base hits. There were no Pride errors and 1 runner left on base. The Bandits have stranded their first runner here in the ball game. We've completed 3. We'll continue with Terry Ward from the Downers Grove Dows and Rebels after this timeout as Eric Katz is going to take over the play-by-play. Duran with the laser beam throw across to retire Amber Patton. We'll head to the top half of the fourth inning of play, which is brought to you in part by Global Security Group, home of today's worldwide security service and investigations. They secure answers and peace of mind. It's a 1-0 Bandit leader over the USSSA Pride here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
All right, welcome back to the ballpark here in Rosemont. 1-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits. This is their first lead of the series. And leading off for the USSSA Pride is the third baseman, number 28, Andrea Duran. Last time up, she reached on a fielder's choice.
got a request to give a special shout out to a daughter, Mackenzie Smith. She's sitting right behind home plate, so we want to give a special thanks out to Mackenzie, who's enjoying the ball game tonight here at the ballpark at Rosemont. Again, thanks for everybody to checking in at streaming at ChicagoBandits.com.
She has some seat behind home plate.
Yes, she does, and she's seeing a great pitching matchup between Abbott and Ricketts.
Fouls that one away. It's going to be 0-2. So, Mike, are you excited that the United States women's soccer team actually made it to the World Cup final for the second year in a row?
Yeah, starting to bring back memories of Brandy Chastain and the success that the USA team had in the late 90s. And a situation now where they've got an opportunity here to really get the game of football back here on the map in the United States.
That 99 team was certainly something. The finest collection of talent you'll ever see a United States soccer team have, with Mia Hamm and all of them. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Can't believe that's been 16 years ago. That's the thing that blows my mind.
My parents actually attended a game when they were playing it at Giant Stadium. The 1-2 from Abbott. Fights that one off. And still going to be 1-2.
They finally got that ball game going between the Charge and the Racers, as they now posted the lineup for that one. And that ball game is being played in Westminster, Colorado, so that's why the later start, because it's in mountain time. 82 degrees and mostly cloudy over there in Westminster City, Colorado.
The 1-2 from Abbott. That one is slapped to the left side for a single. So Andrea Duran's going to get on first base with a single.
Good job of waiting on that let-up that time by Duran as she picks up her first hit of the series.
So here's Gianna DeSalvatore. Last time up, she popped out to Tammy Williams over at shortstop. And Taylor Edwards is going to go talk to Monica Abbott.
And we're going to have a pinch runner now for Duran. Let's see if Brajay Washington will take her place at first base. I mean, we're already looking at the top half of the fourth inning here. This game is certainly moving along quickly, and runs are at a premium, and it will be Brajay that will be coming in now, the speedster for the Pride.
Certainly knows how to get it done with her legs. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they decide to test the arm of Taylor Edwards. But they have to keep in mind, though, that Taylor Edwards had 2 throwouts from behind home plate, only allowing 1 base steal, which even that was a bang-bang play. So here's Gianna DeSalvatore. 1-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits, thanks to an RBI double by the catcher Taylor Edwards.
Washington so far is 1 out of 2 in stolen bases this year.
Takes that one for a strike.
Good to see Rachel Fico back in the circle for the Racers, as she will be going up against Morgan Mello for the Dallas Charge. So another great pitching matchup in the NPF tonight.
The 0-1 offering. That one is lined up the middle. Emily Lauer's not going to be able to get it, so it's going to be another single for the USSSA Pride as Gianna DeSalvatore picks up the hit this time. So runners are going to be on first and second with none out, and here's Madison Shipman.
Boy, good job there by Gianna to fight off that pitch, which was rising in on the fist, as she's telling first base coach for the Pride how she was able to fight that one off and pick up her 4th hit of the series. There you see that ball right in on her, and a good inside-out swing by the former Bruin from UCLA.
It's fouled back.
So far, no action in either bullpen as Abbott and Ricketts have been in control.
I think they're just trying to keep them loose in the Bandits bullpen. Fouled back again, and it's going to be 0-2.
Abbott has certainly kept the speed gun working tonight at 71 on that fastball. Shipman is 1 of 4 strikeout victims for Abbott tonight.
Here's the 0-2 pitch from Abbott. That one is lined foul into the Bandit bullpen.
Happy birthday wishes go out today to Paige Dickinson. She turns 11 today. Twins Vanessa and Victoria Solis are 15 today. And Gracie Holleteeter is turning 11 today as well. Happy birthday to all here at the ballpark.
Oh, and 2 on Shipman. Here's the pitch from Abbott. That one's low and away. It's going to be 1 and 2. So, Mike, what are your thoughts on the Bandits so far this season?
They've certainly shown that they compete with everybody in the league. I still think that offensively, they're still a little bit short, and they're going to have to make that up with speed and defense and quality pitching.
Here's the pitch from Abbott. That one's fouled back again.
The defense has certainly been stellar, and when they've had opportunities, they've been able to use that speed on the base paths, but still need maybe a little bit more offensive production.
I mean, Coach Storwell had said going in that they wouldn't be a team that in the past would outslug everybody. Instead, they're going to have to rely on their speed, and they're going to have to rely even more on pitchers like Monica Abbott and Michelle Gascoigne. And now mistakes are pretty much have to be limited now, especially since they can't outslug anybody anymore.
Yeah, Cervantes has certainly held up her end of the bargain in the cleanup spot.
The 1-2. That's outside. 2 and 2. But they've done a good job for the most part of putting runs across the plate. Most people said they would have a problem with Megan Wiggins now gone. Grounded to Patton. Throws it over to first place for a double play.
Well, that was tailor-made right there to number 12. All she had to do was step on the base at the same time of feeling the ball. Meanwhile, DeSalvatore does move into scoring position as Washington got forced at third base on the front end of the twin killing.
Great play by Amber Patton to get in position to get that ball. And this will bring up Chelsea Goodacre, who's one of the strikeout victims of Monica Abbott. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. She's really bringing the heat tonight using the fastball more at 72 miles an hour, Mike.
We've got her clocked upwards of 75 and 76 in the earlier part of her career.
Swings and a miss for strike 2. Another fastball at 71 this time.
Starting to bring it right now. The game is on the line right now with the tying run at second base here halfway through the ball game.
I actually asked Monica Abbott, I'm like, hey, I'd like to see actually face it from the batter's box. She's like, that's dangerous. That one is popped up. Brenna Moss comes in and he makes the play. And that puts away the Pride scoring chance. We head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
The Arlington Heights Patriots. The St. Charles Angels. ESP Elite Softball. The Knoxville Dolls. The Winfield Pride. The Oakland Falcons.
All right, welcome back to the ballpark here in Rosemont. 1-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits, but the USSSA Pride are out hitting them 3-1. But the Bandits have the hit that counts, which was an RBI double by Taylor Edwards to bring the score to what it is now, 1-0.
And only 2 hits for the Bandits in the last 10 innings of offensive softball, but they're still hanging in strong. Our 4th inning is also brought to us by the sponsor of the Don Q Lounge Rum Runner Lounge down the first base line, and it's available for parties of 10 to 50 people courtesy of Don Q Rum.
So this is going to be Tammy Williams. Last time she grounded out to Andrea Duran at third base. Tammy Williams' RBI totals are a little bit down from last year. She also has yet to hit a home run. She had 9 last year. Takes that one for a strike, and it's going to be 0-1.
Well, Dane, it might be a little bit more than that. Talking about 300 feet to the highway ramp. It's kind of deceiving when you look out over the wall here. It's 220 to the center field fence. I don't know, what do you think, Eric, to the highway?
I'm going to give it a 290 if you're going to counting to get it to the ramp.
Yeah, he was thinking 300.
That one's grounded up, and Shipman again bobbles her up, so Tammy Williams is going to appear to have a single. And the Bandits set the tone early with a single by Tammy Williams.
First hit of the series for T-Will, and the Bandits are off to a good start. Dane, it's kind of hard to judge because it's not flat in front of us. There's a little bit of a valley underneath there. So you're going to see the great effort by Shipman going to her right. She kind of overran the ball a little bit there as the ball ended up going off her wrist.
Here's Brittany Cervantes. Takes that one for a strike. Last time up, she walked.
All I know is that ball that Steve Salvatore hit was about halfway up the hill there over the right field foul pole the other night. That was a blast.
You're going to really have to give it a whack to get it out there. Here's the 0-1 offering. That one's bunted but foul. And it's going to be quickly 0-2 now on Cervantes, who arguably, Mike, is the Bandits' hottest hitter.
Marcela Sosa is checking in on YouTube tonight. A couple other softball coaches also checking in as well. People emailing us and texting us and streaming at ChicagoBandits.com.
That one is fouled back.
And we got to give a little kudos out to the umpiring crew, as Diane Carbon's parents have been watching from the villages of Florida for the 3 games. And I tell you what, Diane and the crew doing a great job out here at the ballpark.
0-2 on Cervantes, and here's the pitch. That one is high up in the air, but settling under it is the right fielder, Kelly Kreshman, who puts Cervantes away for the first out of the inning.
They had a little bit of a challenge in the ball game the other night, trying to sort out the designated player and all the substitutions that Coach Stewart was able to explain to us. And I tell you what, you need a doctorate to be able to figure some of that stuff out sometimes.
Doctorate in softball rules.
Yeah.
So here's Danielle Zimkowitz. Last time up, she reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score the only run in the ball game so far. Who takes that one a little bit outside for ball 1. Dallas Charge have been pretty impressive this year, competing in their first season.
Coming in with a record of 6-12, 6.5 games behind the Bandits.
1-0. 1-1 now to Danielle Zimkowitz.
Danielle scored the only run in the ball game as she reached on a fielder's choice and came home on that RBI double off the bat of Edwards back in the second.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And stealing a base is Tammy Williams.
So T-Will picks up the stolen base. And the former Wildcat is now 4 for 5 in that category this year.
I think there was some hesitation there by Chelsea Goodacre there, which allowed Tammy Williams to get a great jump. The 1-2 pitch. That one is grounded to Shipman. And they get Zimkowitz just by a half a step. A great throw by the shortstop, Madison Shipman.
Now the former Tennessee Volunteer showing off her range and arm from deep in the hole. And once again doing a great job defensively for the Pride.
Justin Goodacre is going to go talk to Kalani Ricketts on how to face Taylor Edwards, who does have that RBI double in the game here tonight.
Boy, that was a big hit there for the former Cornhusker. She's been struggling offensively in this series. Came in 0 for 8. And that will certainly take a lot of the pressure off of Edwards.
And they're going to intentionally put her on to face Brenna Moss, who Kalani Rickus struck out.
Let's see if Coach Stewart goes to the bench now. It appears that he is going to. I don't know if that's Hernandez. That's Natalie that came out of the dugout.
They're going to have her pitch hit for Brenna Moss. So strategy brewing on both sides.
Natalie has had 2 pinch hit chances in this series earlier. Both have been strikeouts. She pinch hit for A.J. Andrews in the 8th on Monday and struck out, and then pinch hit for Zimkowitz last night and also fanned.
Hernandez does have that power that she displayed for her only home run of the year.
So right now the wheels turning on both ends as they try to figure out how to pitch to the former Flame from UIC. Meanwhile, in Major League Baseball tonight, all kinds of action going on. Your Yankees are ahead of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 2-0.
I'm glad to hear that because they've been frustrating me lately with having their problems there, not being able to hold close runs.
White Sox and the Cardinals are in a rain delay.
Takes that one for a ball. It's going to be 1-0 to Natalie Hernandez, who's pitch hitting for Brenna Moss.
Chris Sale, I tell you what, put him down for the Cy Young right now.
He's throwing some pretty historic stuff considering the fact he has no offense to back him. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 to Natalie Hernandez.
Cubs are scoreless in a pitcher's duel with the Mets in the bottom of the 7th.
That one is fouled back. Boy, did Toronto really bash Boston around.
Yeah, the Red Sox have had their troubles this season.
A lot of people were expecting them to win the AL East or at least contend with Baltimore when they picked up Pablo Sandoval and Hanley Ramirez. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one is lined, and Kretschmann's unable to get it. Hernandez is going to go to second, and an RBI double for Natalie Hernandez as Taylor Edwards also comes around to score. So it is now 3-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits.
Boy, Edwards kind of hesitated a little bit between third and home, and Stu ended up giving her the green light to go ahead and go. A great effort there by Kretschmann to get to right center field on that blast, but Natalie Hernandez comes through big time here in a pinch hitting role.
That one was lined into the gap. Kretschmann got a great jump on the ball, but was unable to pick it up as it got just off the webbing of her glove. So now the Bandits are now up 3-0. And Mike, when you give somebody like Monica Abbott this many runs, this will boost her confidence down the stretch.
No doubt about that. As we mentioned, both Edwards along with T-Will get plated on that RBI double to the right side, so the second extra base hit for the home team tonight.
Stu's aggressive tactics tonight are really working out for the Bandits here tonight. And here's Megan Blank. This is her first official at-bat as she was hit by pitch in her last at-bat.
Stay tuned. Next half inning, Alec Giannakopoulos will have a in-dugout guest for us here in the top of the 5th. As there you see Swiper with some of the fans.
Every time I'm thinking of Swiper, Mike, I'm having a hard time not making a Dora the Explorer reference. The little fox that wanders around trying to take things.
Stop swiping, Swiper.
1-1 to Megan Blank. That one's fouled off. It's going to be 1-2 now.
Nice job by Roman Four there, down at the first base coaching box, fielding that one. Both teams now have 3 hits in the ball game, and 2 of those 3 hits for the Bandits. Extra base variety.
Bandits currently have the hits that count right now. 1-2 to Megan Blank. That one is lined up the middle, and Blank is going to beat it out for an infield single.
And a good job there by Brenna Moss to make sure that she was able to get back to the third base bag as she was reinserted for Natalie Hernandez. after the Flame had come up with that opposite field double.
That one ate up Courtney Seo. She got a great jump on it, but she was unable to really hold on to it. And now the Pride are circling up with Kalani Ricketts to discuss strategy with A.J. Andrews coming to bat.
Well, that's a heads-up play there by Double Nichols to get back to the third base bag, and a great job by our Beacon Academy crew to catch all that action. As there you see Brenna at third base now for Andrews. And meanwhile, Megan Blank does pick up the infield single, the fourth hit for the Bandits tonight.
This is A.J. Andrews. Swings and a miss for strike one. Last time up, she grounded out to Kalani Ricketts.
Andrews in the series now 1 for 4.
Pitch from Ricketts. And they're going to catch her in a rundown. Blank's going to go back. And Blank gets back to first base, and also coming around to score on the play is Brenna Moss.
Boy, that is a terrific base running move there by Brenna Moss, and Blank does a great job of getting an extra insurance run by getting caught in the rundown. Nicely done.
And great play by Megan Blank to really put a distraction out there to make sure the run came across. And also, the Pride made the mistake there of actually letting Blank get back to first base, as the run did come around to score.
Can you hear me?
All right, welcome back to the ballpark here in Rosemont. Alec Janakopoulos is going to have a special guest here in the Bandits dugout. Take it away, Alec.
Thanks, guys. Here right now with Alex Booker, the second-year Bandit. Alex, you started out playing youth baseball and then made a change over to softball. Can you describe the change from baseball to softball?
Okay, so basically I told my mom that I was running away from home, and I was never, ever, ever going to, come back home until she let me play baseball again. But I mean, the transition turned out all right. I think it turned out okay for me.
And you played a ton of youth sports growing up, baseball, softball, basketball, to name a few. What traits and aspects can you take away from those sports and apply to softball?
Just honestly being an athlete and just being able to be agile and have agility, really, and just being able to stay fresh with different sports instead of always being softball heavy, I guess.
And you tried on for the team in June. You made it. What was your thought process when trying out for the team?
Thought process for trying out for the team. I just wanted to, I guess, impress and try to not do too much, but at the same time, no pressure. My career would have just ended if I did not make the team. No big deal. But I just tried out and wanted to, give my best and give my all. So to try to make the team, continue with the dream.
And how would you describe your first year with the Bandits?
First year with the Bandits, it was awesome. So that's why I really wanted to come back for a second year, and I'm ready to compete. We're trying to win a championship and trying to win a ring. So this would be my first ever championship, really, besides high school softball. Of course, shout out to my Blue Devils. But I think this team now and last year, it's such a different atmosphere than college. It's everybody's competitive, everybody's the best, so it's great.
And in addition to your on-the-field efforts, we see you running up and down the sidelines in between innings with autographs, and we actually saw a pretty good handstand a couple days ago. How important is the off-field environment and interacting with the fans?
Off-field environment, we actually have handstand competitions, so they get pretty intense. We do them in the locker room, we'll do them at home, on the streets of Chicago, I don't know, wherever. But it is good to just keep the mood light and, not simply just we're never bigger than the game. All right, we're never bigger than the game. So it's nice to be able to do other things than just simply throw, catch, hit, and be a zombie. So we just try to keep the mood light.
And you're a native of Illinois. You went to University of Illinois. You describe yourself as a big Bears fan. What would you do to turn the team around after a pretty lackluster 2014 season?
Don't ask me that. Come on. Go Hawks, right? Go Hawks. That's all I can say.
And finally, as a former youth gymnast, again, handstand was fantastic. Can you take us through the motions of a proper handstand?
Right. It really takes a lot of endurance in your head. First of all, I almost black out every single time I do it. But you got to ask Tatum Edwards about that. Like, really, she's the handstand queen over here. So I'm just learning from her and trying to get better every day.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this interview, and best of luck down the road.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Guys?
Thanks, Alec. That was a terrific interview there. Alex Booker, always an entertaining personality.
Yes, she is. She certainly brightens the room of any mood of any room that she enters, and certainly is looking for some more opportunities to help this Bandit team off the bench in the 2015 season.
She did that today also with the interns who were almost half asleep. There's a bunt. Gets it over to Danielle Zimkowitz for the out.
Boy, nice job by Megan Blank there, pouncing off the first base bag, cutting right in front of Abbott and then twirling around and making the play. That was not an easy one there.
That play's going to go 4-1. And you're going to see on the replay here, a bunt by Courtney Seal as Megan Blank came diving in as she throws it right over to Danielle Zimkowitz to get the out. So here's Natasha Watley. So far tonight, she's 1 for 2. She has a single and she struck out.
John Waymeyer is weighing in, saying that we need to know more about the games being available on YouTube. He's watching today from Kutztown, Pennsylvania. So thanks very much, John, for your support of the NPF. And yeah, we're trying to get the word out on the website as well as during the broadcast, and a lot of folks subscribing to YouTube to watch the games here on ChicagoBandits.com.
0-2 quickly now to Natasha Watley. And they get her on 3 pitches. Another strikeout for Monica Abbott, and that will retire the side. So no hits for the USSSA Pride as we head now to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits. You're watching Chicago Bandits softball on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
Construction.com for information. All right, it's time for the
USSSA Pride as we head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Eric, is number 13, Hannah Rogers, the former Gator from Florida, will come to the circle for the red, white, and blue.
And batting for the Bandits now is A.J. Andrews, the rookie from LSU. She was up when Megan Blank had gotten in a rundown and got Brenna Moss to score. Here's the first pitch from Rogers. Taken for a ball, 1-0.
The line is closed on Ricketts. She goes 4 innings, giving up 4 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. She walked 1 and struck out 4.
1-0 to A.J. Andrews. It's another for a ball. Mike, what would you say is a noticeable difference this year than last year?
Well, you've got, of course, the absence of Wiggins in the lineup, which really does not give Cervantes the protection in the lineup as much as she did last year. So that's obviously a big void to fill there. Allard obviously has done a great job defensively in center field in that absence.
That one is line foul.
But that would be one of the main ones. Williamson is certainly a loss as far as your depth of your pitching staff, although the Bandit staff has done a pretty good job as a whole in holding teams down offensively this season. Even the 2 losses in this series, hard-fought 3-2 losses.
The 2-2. That one's down on the carpet, and it's going to be full count.
But these are the types of games that are going to happen down in Hoover. You're not going to have slugfest down there. They're going to be tight ball games, especially between these 2 teams.
Because I think they're aware of the situation of what's going on, because that's the winner go home. Here's the payoff. Fouled back.
A couple more subscribers on YouTube checking in. Tim Smith along with Aaron Garth. Ashley Stutzman also emailing us at streaming@chicagobandits.com, watching from Arthur, Illinois, and she's backing Alex Booker and the Bandits. Thanks a lot, Ashley.
Full count. And Andrews gets on first base with the walk.
So good speed on board for the Bandits. Let's take a look at the numbers for Hannah Rogers that she's been able to fashion so far this season, coming in with a record of 0-1, a 4.06 earned run average, in 5 appearances in which 2 games she started. She's pitched 16 1/3 innings, giving up 8 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which have been earned, and she's struggled a little bit with the control, walking 9 and striking out 5.
Here's Emily Allard. Takes that one, strike 1. So far tonight, she's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, both coming from Kalani Ricketts. Andrews is over on first base. Speedster from LSU. Here's a pitch from Rogers. And there goes Andrews. Andrews comes diving in, and that's a stolen base for A.J. Andrews.
Well, I tell you what, she has got a great first step off the base.
You're going to see here on the replay, Chelsea Goodacre had a right down the chute throw, but a terrific slide by A.J. Andrews to get there. The ball wound up being a little bit high, but Andrews came in and secured her hands on the bag.
That is the first professional stolen base for A.J. Andrews.
And boy, was it an exciting one.
Yeah, you talked about this turf being a little bit slick out there, and it almost cost her that stolen base for the second time tonight for the Bandits.
The 1-2 pitch. That one is slapped, but foul. And we'll do it again.
The thing now that you have to watch out defensively for the Pride, you've got Duran coming in, and they had Edwards take a chance there trying to sneak from behind, so Madison Shipman has to be cognizant of the runner possibly moving to third and moving with her down the line.
And A.J. Andrews is actually faster than Taylor Edwards. The 1-2. That one is slapped. They're going to have to get it over in a hurry. And Emily Allard beats it out for an infield single. That's the first hit for her tonight.
Now, I'm not sure on that one if they ruled that DeSalvatore came off the bag too quickly or that Allard actually beat it out. Watch the foot there of DeSalvatore, and let's see if she stays on the bag. I don't know, but good job by Diane Carden to be right in proper position to make the call on the infield hit.
So runners on the corners and no outs, and here comes Amber Patton, who's 0 for 2 tonight. That one is laced foul, and it's going to be 0-1. Tonight, Amber Patton has struck out. She's also grounded out to Andrea Duran.
Hannah Rogers, the 2014 SEC Female Athlete of the Year. Also the most outstanding player after 4 complete game wins in the 2014 World Series.
That's some pretty sick stuff. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And there goes Allard. And Allard's easily going to coast into second base with a stolen base.
So the second stolen base for the black and orange in the inning. And now with 2 runners in scoring position and first base open, we'll see what the strategy is going to be here on Patton.
So Emily Howard eliminates the force there. The 1-1 to Amber Patton. That one is lined foul again. It's going to be 1-2.
A couple other groups in attendance out here tonight at the ballpark include ESP Elite Softball, along with the Winfield Pride 8U team and the Oak Park Falcons, along with Elmhurst Softball tonight.
1-2 to Patton. Runners on second and third, no out. Here's the pitch from Rogers. That one is grounded to Madison Shipman, who throws it just above the head of the first baseman. That was DeSalvatore, who had to jump up there and make the catch. So runners are going to hold there as Amber Patton grounds out, and here comes Tammy Williams.
Boy, Gianna had to use all of that 5'9" frame to corral that ball from Shipman. It really sailed on her there.
So here's Tammy Williams. Last time she was up, she had a single and eventually came out on the score. She also has a stolen base. Takes that one for a strike. And it's 0-1.
The 3 stolen bases for the Bandits tonight now have them sitting at 17 stolen bases and 23 attempts this year.
They certainly know how to run well and run fast. I think they're living up to their name more, Mike, of Bandits. Kind of like basically vandalizing bases.
Or a swiper.
I guess the catcher says swiper, no swiping. That's what Goodacre said to Taylor Edwards. 1-1 to Williams. And it's going to be 2-1.
The ball game in Colorado must be delayed.
That's Aaron Moore State. Two and one on Williams. Runners on second and third, 1 out. That one is lined, and it's a fair ball. Andrew's going to come around, and coming home behind her is Amber Patton. So a 1-out RBI double by Tammy Williams. And the Bandits now lead 6-0.
Boy, great job by T-Wool going the other way as she knocked that ball over the head of Watley. And there you see the speed that we talked about. Andrews tagging properly at third base. And then Emily Allard, once she found out that the ball was going to go over Watley's head, a good job of cutting the third base bag on the 2-bagger and 2 RBI base hit to the opposite field by T-Wool.
So here's Brittany Cervantes. She has a walk. She's also flown out long to Kelly Kreshman.
For Tammy Williams, she picks up RBI 7 and 8 on the season, and now Mike Davenport makes the long trek out from the dugout.
That ball that Tammy Williams hit was just barely fair. It almost was on the line.
Yeah.
It was clearly over the head of Watley as Watley was trotting over to it.
Well, certainly a much happier Mike Stewart tonight after 2 tough losses, as the Bandits' bats has certainly woken up here as they now lead at 6-0.
I think they're a little bit frustrated about their batting woes, and I think they were just ready to bring out the hot sticks. So Tammy Williams is on second base with 1 out, and this is Brittany Cervantes, who currently has a ball on her. Takes that one low, and it's going to be 2-0. That one is up in the air. Drifting over is Watley. And it's just out of the reach of Watley as that ball goes foul. It's going to be 2-1 on Cervantes.
Wind still gusting in, but that Williams ball was being pushed towards foul territory, but it was a line drive and had enough muscle on it to be able to get it close to the base there under the 210 sign down the left field line.
2-1 on Cervantes. Takes that one on the corner for strike 2, and that's going to even it up at 2-2. I always found some of these group outings to just be the coolest. I could never think of another franchise to do these such group activities.
Yeah, tickets starting at only $7 for the outfield.
Takes that one outside, and it's going to be full count.
The great thing the Bandits do, too, is they offer discounts off the upper club, lower box seats, as well as the upper box seats for groups of 15 or over 75.
Full count pitch. And that one is laced foul. Boy, I tell you, Mike, Brittany Cervantes is hitting the ball particularly hard during the series.
Has a walk so far and a fly out to right in her 2 at-bats tonight. Trying to keep the hitting streak going right now as she's picked up 4 hits in the series.
Full count pitch. That one is grounded foul. And boy, Cervantes and Hannah Rogers certainly brought out the boxing gloves in this match.
Well, I tell you what, Cervantes coming in .864 on the slugging percentage, but more impressively, .537 on base. And that's really been the key for her this particular season.
Payoff. That one's lined up there, and that's going to get into the outfield. So Williams is going to hold up at second thanks to a nice throw by Kelly Creshman, so it's going to be a single for Brittany Cervantes as she keeps the hitting streak alive.
Once again, going right with the pitch to the other way. That's exactly what she did when she got the 2-run home run to the opposite way. And now Mike Stewart is going to go to the bench again and bring in some more speed on the base paths.
Probably see an appearance probably by Sammy Marshall.
You got it.
This is Sammy Marshall pinch running for Brittany Cervantes to add some speed over at first base. And Naperville native certainly has done a lot on the base path and has came home a bunch of times.
Sammy Marshall has a pinch run now for the second time in the series. She scored when she pinch ran for Cervantes in the 6th on Monday night. As there you get a look at the former Gator from Florida, Hannah Rogers.
That one was hit just above the head of Courtney Seo, who kind of jumped up there, but she was unable to bring it down. So now the infield is coming in to conference with Hannah Rogers, and it appears as though that Mike Davenport's going to make a substitution.
Also want to tell you a little bit about the party deck in left field, which is available for group outings as well here at the ballpark. Terrific way to watch the ball game and enjoy your group with a 2-level elevated deck behind the left field wall. They have pricing packages available as low as $18 per person, including soft drinks, bottled water, cookies, and a ticket to the game. And all the prices on a per-person basis with a minimum of 50 guests per group. For more information, check out the party deck information on ChicagoBandits.com.
So the former Chicago Bandit, Andy Williamson, is coming in relief of Hannah Rogers. The book isn't closed on her because she has 2 runners on base. Andy Williamson, who came out of the Marshall University out in West Virginia, also a West Virginia native.
So Rogers just goes a third of an inning. She gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. She still has the responsibility of the 2 runners that are on base right now at first and third with only 1 out.
Danielle Zimkowitz is in a great situation here because a quality out, such as like a fly out to anywhere out of the infield, should be enough to bring home Tammy Williams.
No strikeouts and 1 walk for Rogers in that third of an inning of work. So the former Thundering Herd for Marshall comes in for the Pride right now. Andy on the season has no record. Her ERA is 6.00. She's had 2 appearances so far this season. 2 1/3 innings in that work. She's been touched up for 2 hits and 2 runs, both of which have been earned. She's walked 3 and struck out 2.
So here's Danielle Zimkowitz. Her goal right now is to get the ball out of the infield to bring home Tammy Williams. and possibly Sammy Marshall, who's over at first base, who I think Mike Sturwald might want to give the green light to.
Yeah, the former Leatherneck certainly has the speed to be able to accomplish that.
First pitch from Williamson. Taken high for a ball. 1-0. Boy, this is a completely different Bandits team than the ones we saw for the past 2 games, Mike.
Well, it's been tough. These 2 losses have certainly left their mark a little bit here on this team.
1-0. Taken high again. It's going to be 2-0.
It's always how you bounce back from adversity.
I guess with their bats, the Bandits are a little bit aggravated and decided to light up the scoreboard tonight. Takes that one high again. It's going to be 3-0 to Danielle Zimkowitz. And what you don't want to do, Mike, is walk Danielle Zimkowitz, and you'll have to face Taylor Edwards, who also has an RBI tonight.
Let's see if they give her the green light here.
3-0, 1 out, runners on the corners. Takes that one for a strike, and it's going to be 3-1 to Danielle Zimkowitz. Believe it or not, Mike, I actually got a Danielle Zimkowitz t-shirt. Due in part, I was working a table during the Big East tournament, and it had rained on me. And Danielle Zimkowitz walks as Sammy Marshall was trotting over to second base anyway. And coming to bat now is Taylor Edwards. And in one official at bat, she has a double. She was also caught stealing. So the bases are loaded with Taylor Edwards up, who does bring tremendous power to the plate.
2 of the Bandits' runs were on walks, one intentional, the other not.
Pitch from Williamson. That's high and outside, and it's going to be 1-0.
Can never have enough runs against this Pride team. They've got all kinds of firepower, and they'll have 2, 3, and 4 coming up in their half of the 6th.
Takes that one high again. It's going to be 2-0. Williamson is struggling early with command, Mike.
She's had some control issues in the early part of the season.
2-0 on Edwards. Now that brings it to 3-0, and now Andy Williamson's in a pretty deep hole.
If you're just joining us, the Bandits were able to break out on top with a run in the 2nd. Fielder's choice by Zimkowitz, and then driven in on an RBI double off the bat of the current hitter, Taylor Edwards. They added 3 in the 4th, and the big blow in that inning, the 2-run double off the bat of Natalie Hernandez that broke things open before T-Will came up with another 2-run double here in the 5th.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Gave Taylor the green light on that one.
Three and 1, and 1 out. That one is lined, and that's going to get down for a hit. Tammy Williams is going to come down and score. So an RBI single by Taylor Edwards. That's her 2nd RBI of the evening.
So that brings home T-Will with the 3rd run of the inning, the 2nd consecutive frame that the Bandits have put a 3 spot up there. And Taylor Edwards now with a couple of RBIs here in the ball game, breaking out of that mini slump in a big way.
Yep, she's having a terrific night tonight. Here's Brenna Moss. Takes that one high for a ball, and it's going to be 1-0. Bandits have almost batted around this inning. 7-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits. Takes that one high again. It's going to be 2-0.
Stay tuned after the ball game. We'll name our Boomba player of the game and also our Diamond Sports play of the contest.
Back-to-back innings, the Bandits have scored at least 3 runs. Takes that one for a strike, and it's going to be 2-1 on Brenna Moss, the rookie from Fresno State. Sacks are full of orange. 7-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits. That one's high and tight, and it's going to be 3-1 now. Due up after Brenna Moss is Megan Blank, the first baseman. The 3-1. And that one apparently nips the corner, and it's going to load the count up, 3-2.
Last year, Andy had a nice ERA at 2.84 in almost 50 innings pitched for the Bandits.
That one's lined up in the air. Watley's going to get it. And that play is coming in, and coming around to score is Sammy Marshall for the 8th run of the ball game for the Chicago Bandits.
So a nice RBI there for Brenna as she hits it the opposite way and is able to drive home the run for Chicago. As Marshall comes in to score for Cervantes. And evidently there must have been a runner leaving too early, and they were able to double off the runner there to retire the side, Eric.
Amber Patton's down there talking.
So it ends up being 4 runs in the inning for Chicago as that particular sacrifice fly is negated. The Bandits ended up putting 4 hits up on the board in that frame. There were no Pride errors, and 1 runner was left on base. So we will head to the top half of the 6th inning of play, and the score remains the Bandits 8 and the Pride nothing. Back with the top half of the 6th inning of play after a brief timeout on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com.
All right, welcome back to the ballpark here in Rosemont. 7-0 in favor of the Chicago Bandits, thanks to a 3-run inning in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Bandits certainly have taken control of this game, and Monica Abbott certainly is feeling good. And coming to bat now for the USSSA Pride is Kelly Kreshman. She doesn't have an official at bat. She had a sacrifice bunt, and she was also hit by pitch.
Yeah, that was the case, Eric. It was a double play as they called the runner for leaving too soon, Marshall. So that ends up being a fly out and no RBI for Brenna Moss. So that's just an F7 in the scorebook. So the Bandits almost bat around in that inning, and they put up 3 runs in that frame. So you take away the run that was scored there by Sammy Marshall.
1-1 to Kelly Kreshman.
So in this frame, it'll be Kreshman along with Wiggins and Duran to face Abbott. As Monica pitches that one there. She has, in the ball game, struck out the side in the 2nd inning, a single fan in the 3rd, as well as here with 2 in the 5th. So she has 6 strikeouts here in the ball game, and only 1 walk so far.
1-2 to Kelly Kreshman.
7-8-0 for the Bandits, 0-3-0 for the Pride as she fouls that one off. And the count remains 1-2. Still nothing on the game between the Charge and the Racers. Still have some people checking in on streaming at ChicagoBandits.com. Mike Bricketto checking in with us as well, giving us some kind words. We appreciate it very much. Mike with some kind words for the NPF as well. And I tell you what, Mike, I totally agree with you that these professional athletes do a great job of making themselves available not only during the games but also personal appearances throughout the area. They're very accessible. They're able to spend time with the kids as that ball is fouled back by Kretschmann for autographs after the game, and it certainly is a great family atmosphere out here at the ballpark at Rosemont. A lot of groups out here tonight, and they're enjoying a 7-0 Bandit leader right now. Kelly so far in the game is 0 for 1. She was hit by a pitch in the third. Little chop shot over the head, picked up by T-Wool, and the throw over to Blank, and she's able to retire Kretschmann, who is still looking for her first hit of the series.
What a play by Tammy Williams, Defensive Player of the Year. Make those plays. Terrific awareness play by rushing up to the ball and bailing out Monica Abbott. You're going to see right here, that one was chopped right over the glove of Monica Abbott. She might have tipped it, and Tammy Williams threw it over to first base to get the out.
Boy, Kretschmann couldn't have placed that ball any better to get it over the outstretched glove there of Abbott, but T-Will recognizing that situation and then being able to have the presence of mind with that momentum to go towards first base.
I didn't think anything could get above Monica Abbott's glove.
Yeah, I tell you, she certainly has the long wingspan there in the circle. So Megan Wiggins so far 0 for 1 in the ball game as she takes that off-speed pitch. Megan now 6 for 10 in the series with a run scored and 3 big runs driven in this series.
So far tonight she has a walk and she grounded out to Danielle Zimkowitz.
Bandits have out hit the Pride 8-3 in the ball game. That 72-mile-an-hour fastball paints the outside corner. The Bandit bullpen is getting a little bit stirring as it looks like Tatum Edwards is getting loosened up out there. She had a nice appearance last night with a couple scoreless innings. Just barely outside on that one. Andrea Duran on deck for the red, white, and blue. Coming in with a 4-game winning streak. But that is certainly in jeopardy tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the former Bandit. And that one catches her on the foot, so she will pay the price and take the trot down to first base.
That one was pretty fast, and Megan Wiggins definitely felt that one as she's hobbling around down the first base line.
So 1 out now for Duran. Certainly the last thing that Monica wanted to do there is you see it catch the inside instep of the left foot there on Wiggins.
Monica was trying to go outside on that one, but got too much of the outside.
Duran 1 for 2 in the game so far. Picked up her first hit of the series back in the 4th. Reached on a fielder's choice in the opening frame.
Tatum Edwards warming up in the bullpen. I think the Bandits are trying to keep their pitchers loose, and also they have Tatum in there just in case Monica runs into some trouble. But she staked to a 7-0 lead.
Came into the game last night, did a good job of wiggling out of a couple Pride rallies to keep the Bandits within 1. But the Bandits could not push that tying run across on the ace, Kat Osterman.
The only hit of the night was a 2-run home run by Brittany Cervantes, who's swinging lightning right now.
No rest for the weary as the Pride series ends tomorrow night, and then the Pennsylvania Rebellion come into town for a weekend set here at the ballpark at Rosemont to continue this 7-game homestand. Get your tickets at ChicagoBandits.com. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the former Bruin from UCLA. Wiggins gets her momentum towards second base. Monica still topping out on the speed gun over 70. on the fastballs.
She's definitely showing more of the heat tonight. I mean, against the Dallas Charge, when we saw her start, she was using more of the off-speed pitches.
And check that series is actually going to start on Sunday against the Rebellion, as the Bandits will take a couple days off for the 4th of July holiday, as that one catches the outside corner for the 7th strikeout for Monica Abbott in the ball game. Strikeouts brought to us by Cole Construction. Cole built, quality, on time, every time at Cole Construction.
Terrific strikeout by Monica Abbott, recovering well from the hit by pitch when she got Megan Wiggins right in the foot.
So D. Salvatore now will stand in.
Monica also is doing a great job of getting ahead of hitters, Mike. She's always throwing the first pitch strike so far. I mean, that's been the key tonight, is been able to get the first pitch strike and control the tempo.
The 0-1 pitch just misses. 45 strikeouts now in the season for Abbott against 10 walks. Be a little twist in that Sunday afternoon matinee, as we will be having a makeup of a game that was postponed on the road between the Rebellion and the Bandits. The first game will start at 2:45 on Sunday the 5th, as they will conclude that extra inning game against the Rebellion, in which the international tiebreaker rule was incorrectly applied. And then they'll play the regularly scheduled game at 3:05, and the games on Monday and Tuesday night at 7:05 right here at the ballpark at Rosemont on July 6th and 7th. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a nice job by Gianna to spoil that one off.
The Bandits so far this season are undefeated against the Pennsylvania Rebellion on the road. This is the first time we're going to actually see them come to the ballpark in Rosemont for our actual game that counts. We saw them during the exhibition season.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Patton crossed the diamond, and it's a laser beam over to Megan Blank on a 5-3 putout to retire the side. So the shutout remains intact for Monica Abbott and the Bandits. No runs, hits, or errors. 1 runner left on for the Pride. They've now stranded 5 in 6 innings of offensive softball. We will head to the bottom half of the 6th inning here at the ballpark at Rosemont. Our 6th inning is brought to us by Deljo Heating and Cooling, striving to make our every service affordable and convenient at Deljo Heating and Cooling. It's all Chicago tonight as they lead Florida 7-0 here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Bottom half of the 6th here for the home team. The Bandits 7-8-0. The Pride 0-3-0. It'll be Megan Blank, the former Hawkeye from Iowa, to lead it off, followed by A.J. Andrews, and then the top of the order with Emily Allard to face the former Chicago Bandit, Andy Williamson. Just joining us, the Bandits with a single run in the second and then 2-3 spots in the fourth and fifth tonight.
That certainly makes Monica Abbott feel good in the circle.
Denver, Colorado checking in with Kevin Mooney. He's attending the Colorado Fireworks Tournament and catching the game tonight, and is planning to catch a Charger Racers game live tomorrow in Colorado. It's 80 out there. Kevin, we're envious.
I'm jealous.
It'll be a little bit cooler in Libertyville for Kevin if he was back home.
All I gotta say about that is you're one lucky duck.
Be getting a little bit warmer, and some of that weather is going to be coming our way over 4th of July. And the 1-2 pitch is a punch out for Andy, and strike 3.
First strikeout of the night for Andy Williams. She demonstrated some great control there as she's able to fan Megan Blank on 4 pitches.
That is the 5th strikeout for Pride pitchers tonight. So A.J. Andrews now will stand in. She's officially 0 for 1 in the ball game. Walked and stole a base and scored back in the 5th.
It's one of the many runs that scored.
Yeah, 8 players came to the plate in that inning for the Bandits. 4 scored. They had another one taken off the score sheet on the runner leaving too soon from third base, as Sammy Marshall was doubled off on an appeal by the Pride. AJ came in at 263 on the season. Certainly has brought an element of speed to this team along with Brenna Moss. And I tell you what, if those 2 young ladies get untracked offensively, look out. Because they can cause a lot of problems for opposing catchers. And the 3-0 pitch does catch the corner. Wiggins is playing very shallow in center, playing Andrews to swing late. Kretschmann fairly deep in case she pulls it.
Infield's drawing in also.
And we'll have a 3and2sports.com payoff. Watley has been replaced in left field. Duran again sneaking up the third base line for the payoff now to the former Tiger from LSU. And I do not think she held up, and she did not. So Andy picks up her 2nd consecutive strikeout swinging here in the Bandits' 6th.
A.J. Andrews got way too far across the plate. It was a nice pitch by Andy Williamson, who appears to be finding her groove here tonight as we get a look at the former Chicago Bandit. Here's Emily Allard.
Allard 1 for 3 in the game with a couple strikeouts. She had an infield single in the 5th and scored. She also stole second on a 1st and 3rd opportunity. So Allard now in the series is 3 for 10.
Emily Allard, always another one of an entertaining personality on this team, along with Alex Booker.
She was carrying one of the young softball players to the high-five lineup the other day. Big smile on her face. Little chop shot there is going to go over the Pride dugout. Nice effort there by Duran, but she runs out of real estate, and the count goes to 1-2. Looking ahead to the Pride half of the 7th, they will have Shipman, Goodacre, and Chamberlain to face Monica Abbott, who right now is in line for a complete game 3-hit shutout.
I read an interesting article.
And that, just wanted to mention Emily Kerner is now in left field, the former Fighting Irish from the University of Notre Dame.
Emily Allard is balancing actually 3 different careers. She's a marketer for the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association. She also has her own company.
That chopper to Shipman, going to be tied at first base, and able to beat it out was Emily Allard for her 2nd consecutive infield single in as many innings.
Back-to-back hits for Emily Allard, demonstrating that she's quick as a bunny there, using the bandit chop. Shipman made a nice play on it. And that was a close play right there. Another bang, bang play. One of many we've seen this series, Mike.
Diane Carden on the call, ruled it a tie. The wind continuing to blow in has dropped the temperature now into the 50s here at the ballpark as Amber Patton now will stand in. Amber's drawn the collar so far 0 for 3. And right now in the series, she's sitting at 1 for 10. Good speed aboard here with 2 outs. Both bullpens silent right now as the Bandits trying to pick up win number 14 on the campaign and hold on to first place over the Pride. Well, if this score holds up, tomorrow night's game will certainly be a huge swing game in this series. If the Bandits are able to pull it out, they end up right back where they started from at the beginning of the series, as that one is chopped foul into the Pride dugout. And if the Pride win, it becomes a 2-game swing.
This would be a huge win for the Bandits tonight if the score remains the same, because they definitely needed this game. This will be a huge confidence booster since they were having trouble with the Pride these last 2 nights.
Slap by Patton to left, breaking in quickly, and then the rookie corner is able to corral it as the ball kind of sailed on her a little bit for out number 3. So in the inning for the Bandits, they failed to score for the first time in 3 innings. They do pick up the infield single by Allard, as there you see the rookie from Notre Dame having that ball sail on her a little bit. There was 1 runner left on the base pass. The Bandits have stranded 3 in tonight's ball game. We will head to the top half of the 7th inning of play. It's hold 'em and go home as the Bandits have a 7-0 lead here over the Florida Pride on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Set to do battle after a long rain delay. The Cubs and the Mets are still scoreless in the 9th inning down at the Big Apple. Yankees still holding on against the Angels in the top of the 8th. And the Reds were able to edge the Twins tonight 2-1. Toronto all over Boston 11-2.
Glad to see the Yankees are holding it on. Their solid bullpen consisting of Dylan Beatonses and also Andrew Miller. Hopefully we'll be able to hold that one down.
So Madison Shipman now will stand in. She fisted towards the first baseman, Megan Blank, who cuts right through the first base square and makes the grab in the coach's box for out number 1.
Nice in the hands pitch by Monica Abbott as she's able to get Madison Shipman out on 1 pitch, and also even better, a foul out, which was a can of corn for Megan Blank.
The Pride have not had a base hit since the 1 out, or check that, the no-out double by D. Salvatore back in the 4th. So now here's Chelsea Goodacre coming to the plate. She's 0 for 2 in the game, a strikeout in the 2nd as Abbott struck out the side in that frame, and then she flew out to Moss back in the 4th. Brenner remains the game in left, Allard in center, A.J. Andrews in right. The infield from 3rd to 1st with Patton, Williams, Zimkowitz, and Blank. Taylor Edwards, the Iron Woman behind the plate with Monica Abbott.
I always wondered how Taylor Edwards survives behind the plate, because that's a lot of wear and tear on the knees.
I thought for sure they'd have Galasso in there in this series, but so far Taylor's been hunkering down back there and now is woken up offensively as well. Carlos Carrasco taking a no-hitter into the 9th. Boy, Cleveland has certainly had some great pitching. And the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed on a 73-mile-an-hour heater for Monica Abbott. Strikeout number 8 for the ace for the Bandits.
Terrific strikeout by Monica Abbott. She really showing the heat tonight, putting that 70-plus mile-an-hour pitch in the zone, and now she's 1 out away from bringing home a Bandit victory in the end to this 2-game losing streak.
Going to be a pinch hitter coming in now. It's going to be Amber Freeman, the rookie out of Arizona State, as the former Sun Devil now will come to the plate. This will be her first appearance of this series. Freeman has had 4 at-bats this season without a base hit. She has driven in a run. And the former Sun Devil takes it upstairs. So she is batting for Lauren Chamberlain. Chamberlain was 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts. And Abbott is able to even up the count at 1 apiece. Still topping out on the gun at about 71. Bandits with a single run in the second and 3 apiece in the 4th and the 5th to put it away here tonight. And now the Pride are down to their last bullet. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Bandits trying to increase their lead in the NPF to a game and a half. Abbott gets her sign. Goes into the bottom of the circle with the rock. Here's the 1-2. And a good job by Amber to spoil that one off. And we'll do it again.
Monica Abbott has pitched terrific tonight, in this huge critical matchup between these two rival teams in the NPF standings.
Here you get a good look at the former Sun Devil from Arizona State trying to keep things alive for the red, white, and blue. Here again is the 1-2 pitch coming up from the ace of the black and orange. And the off-speed pitch just off the corner. And deuces are wild now with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
Monica was trying to get the corner on that one, but was unable to keep it in.
8 strikeouts in the game for Abbott. She gets her sign. Here's the 2-2 to Amber Freeman, and it's fouled off. Good job by Amber to stay alive.
Great fight-off pitch by Amber Freeman. She's able to foul that one back. She's doing her best to stay alive and get on base. With 2 outs here, this is a critical game for both teams, with the Bandits right now in the driver's seat with a 7-0 lead.
Abbott now with 11 strikeouts in the series, 3 in relief when she took the loss. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's a Bandit winner. Monica Abbott with 9 strikeouts tonight, and she pitches the Bandits to a game and a half lead in first place with a 3-hit complete game shutout and a 7-0 Bandit winner. High fives all around and smiles for the home team tonight.
If you could sum this game up for the Bandits, this was a confidence booster for them after having 2 tough losses last night. One of them went to the international tiebreaker rule. But a terrific game by Monica Abbott as the Bandits rode on her arm to get the win. They also relied on the heavy hitting as they scored a season-high 7 runs.
So we'll now have our Combat Sports post-game report as Johnny Soul goes right across home plate on your screen there. The young man who does a great job in the front office for the Bandits. So the Combat Sports post-game report brought to you, of course, by Combat Sports. Your advantage is in our DNA. Experience Maxim, a 40% larger hitting surface than the closest competitor. So the happy totals for the Chicago Bandits: 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The winner is Monica Abbott. And Monica Abbott picks up the win. She improves now to 4-1 on the season. And the Bandits only strand 3 tonight, Eric, so they certainly took advantage of the opportunities when they were presented to themselves.
Roman Force said that one of the things they had to do was get quality at-bats, and I believe the Bandits got quality at-bats last night, and they were able to bring runs home. Emily Allard talked to me earlier in the week, and she talked about execution and how the Bandits hadn't been doing that with runners in scoring position. But tonight, Mike, they definitely did that, judging by the scoreboard.
For the USSSA Pride, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Pride end up stranding 5. The loss goes to Kalani Ricketts. She falls now to 2-1 on the season. So the Pride now fall to 10-5 on the campaign, and the Bandits improve to 14-6, and they increase that lead now to a game and a half over their rivals in the NPF. Certainly a huge win tonight for the Bandits.
Indeed it was. The Bandits were coming in with a 2-game losing streak that was tied for their longest this season, and they knew they needed a win in order to keep in first place, and they were able to do just that, especially with a 7-0 blowout win over their rival, the USSSA Pride.
It's going to be time now to name our Boomba player of the game as well as our play of the ball game by Diamond Sports, and may take a little bit of an audible here, Eric, so that we can kind of change things around a little bit. Obviously, Monica Abbott certainly is, Boomba is our official sponsor of our player of the ball game, the official supplier of the National Pro Fast Pitch, and also authentic team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. Monica Abbott certainly would be deserving of the player of the game. Of course, she was already awarded that earlier, so I'm going to kind of switch it around a little bit. You talked about Taylor Edwards' double setting the tone. I think that'll be our good Diamond Sports play of the game. And meanwhile, our player of the game, Natalie Hernandez, certainly earning it with that big double in the ball game. As there you see that ball hit now on the play over to the right side on the infield base hit earlier in the ball game for the Bandits. But I tell you what, a terrific job by Natalie Hernandez to be able to pick up that big RBI double, and that really set the stage in that game, bringing home 2 runs and getting the margin a little bit larger and earning her player of the ball game tonight.
I agree, Mike. I mean, there were plenty of worthy people out there to be named player of the ball game, but Natalie Hernandez came up huge tonight with that RBI double to ultimately put a huge rally for the Bandits and also stake Monica Abbott to a huge lead, which, Mike, we all know, is if you give Monica Abbott runs, that will just make her even better and better and better.
What you're seeing on your screen right now, it's running the bases night tonight here at the ballpark at Rosemont, so the youth are going to get an opportunity to scamper around the bases here at the ballpark. Meanwhile, post-game photos being taken out there by the Winfield Pride 8U team, along with the Oak Park Falcons joining them for post-game festivities with the Chicago Bandits. And hopefully Alec Giannakopoulos is going to be able to grab Natalie Hernandez, our Boomba player of the ball game, and get a word from the former Flame from UIC. And that has to be a big thrill for her, Eric. She picked up that first home run of the year earlier this year, but this certainly was a big hit in a big stage.
This was huge. I mean, this is where great players come out against teams like the USSSA Pride. They did an excellent job tonight. Natalie Hernandez lit a charge, and the Bandits exploded it with a dynamite of hits.
And, of course, Taylor Edwards also picking up a big hit. She came in to this ball game tonight 0 for 8 in the series and had left 5 runners on base. So certainly a situation where it was needed for her to get off the schneid in the series and contribute a little bit offensively. Her defensive prowess in the series certainly unquestioned, throwing out 3 Pride runners earlier in this series. And the Pride have certainly learned not to test the arm of number 25 behind the plate.
I mean, they didn't have any stolen base attempts tonight. The other Kelly Kreshman steal, which was the one that she gave up, was a bang-bang play. I think the Pride are learning now that Taylor Edwards has a whip arm that she can throw a frozen rope over to second base to get stolen basers. That's what she demonstrated last night.
We are still trying to see what's going on with that ball game between the Charge and the Racers. We still don't have a report from that one out in Colorado yet, so evidently a delay going on in that ball game. The pitching matchup was supposed to be Rachel Fico against Morgan Mello in that particular contest. So as it stands right now, the Bandits with a 14-6 record, the Pride now at 10-5, and the Racers at 10-9. So they're 2.5 games behind the Pride for second place in the NPF. The Dallas Charge at 6-12, and the Pennsylvania Rebellion bringing up the rear at 5-13. And of course, the Rebellion will be coming in here to Rosemont for a 3-game series starting on Sunday.
Whatever you're more comfortable with.
So let's move it down and let's see if we can get Alec Giannakopoulos with our Boomba player of the ball game, Natalie Hernandez. Alec?
Thanks, guys. Here right now with Taylor Edwards. Taylor, you had a huge double that kind of opened up the offense for the team. Take us through that play and what went right for you there.
What right? I finally hit the ball square. I don't know. I mean, I faced Kaylani all throughout college, and I'm comfortable with her pitching, and just me. I took early BP today, extra hitting, talked with Surf a little bit, trying to get my swing back to normal, and just actually seeing the ball from the hip and all the way to me. That's the only thing I was working on tonight.
And you guys pick up an important win. You stop the 2-game skid, and you move back to 1.5 lead over the Pride. How important is this series to you guys, this kind of at this point in the season?
It's very important. I mean, I know it's a long season, but every win that we can get, and especially if it's against Pride, they're so dominant, and just every single game matters in this league. Every single game.
And you have a pretty busy schedule. You have a game tomorrow, 2 games off, and then 3 more games already. So how is the energy in the locker room with the busy schedule up ahead?
It's actually really good. We dance all the time as a team, and we have like karaoke before every BP or every practice, every game. Like, that's just how we are. We're all fun, and just we love laughing together and just having a good time.
Okay, well, congratulations on the player of the game.
Thank you.
And best of luck down the road, guys.
Thank you very much.
Ball game tonight with that double at the base of the wall over the head of Natasha Watley. Boomba, the official supplier for National Pro Fast Pitch authentic team uniforms, training apparel, and replica sportswear. And Eric, certainly that double set the tone in this game. It got the Bandits out to a lead that they were not going to be able to relinquish tonight.
When you give Monica Abbott that many runs, you can't expect a dominant ace just like Monica Abbott to really give up runs like that many, because Monica Abbott just isn't that type of pitcher. She'll give up 1, 2, 3 runs at most, but I never saw her really give up as many runs as 7 before. I mean, it's just Monica Abbott just doesn't let that happen. That's why she's been so dominant and overpowering over the years in the MPF and also on the international stage for Team USA.
Now it's going to be very interesting to see what the Pride are going to do as far as pitching tomorrow night. You would think that Jordan Taylor could possibly get the nod, although she's been the closer for the Pride. Chelsea Thomas would also possibly be available since she pitched 4 2/3 on Monday. I would find it very difficult that Kat Osterman would come back after only 1 day off and pitch the series finale. Meanwhile, the Bandits are in real good shape with Michelle Gascoigne set to go.
They are. I mean, Michelle Gascoigne is just as dominant as Monica Abbott, just not as overpowering, but she's still a great pitcher. She keeps the ball in the zone, and she keeps the ball low and doesn't get too much of the plate. We've seen her also close out a game this year.
So special thanks to everybody in our Beacon Academy crew. Alec Giannakopoulos doing a terrific job with our in-dugout interview earlier in the game, as well as our post-game Boomba player of the ball game, Taylor Edwards, in tonight's contest. Special thanks go out to our producer, Bilal Mohammed, along with Caroline Muller on graphics. Also thanks to Brendan Culleton, along with Rebecca Pasteris. Also doing a great job tonight, Allison Ward joining the crew as well. And we want to thank everybody for their terrific work, and the camera work, as usual, was terrific in tonight's ball game. So for Eric Katz, this is Mike Knezovich saying so long from a very busy and excited ballpark in Rosemont. It's running the bases night tonight here in Rosemont, and the Bandits did the same thing as they ran across the plate 7 times tonight, as Monica Abbott was able to pitch a 3-hit complete game shutout in a 7-0 Bandit winner. Tune in with our pregame coverage at 6:50 tomorrow night. First pitch at 7:05 as the Bandits try to pick up a split against the USSSA Pride, live here, right here on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. God bless America. God bless you all. Have a safe and wonderful evening, everybody. So long from the ballpark at Rosemont.